Hi everyone, welcome to a new episode of Think About It, powered by Sonara Global. As you all know, I'm Amir and I have a special guest with me today, Dr. Ernest Chen. And today's podcast episode is titled Speak with Purpose, about confidence, connection, and impact. So a little bit about Dr. Ernest
Hello.
is that I had the privilege of meeting him through the district community chat of the Toastmasters Club. He's a celebrated public speaking coach and distinguished Toastmaster who's founded multiple Toastmasters clubs and mentored thousands. And luckily, I'm part of TMCS, and our past president Vlad actually added us into the district chat, and then I had the opportunity to meet him because he was in the chat as well. And luckily, his office was nearby my place, so it made it convenient for this interview to happen. So, hi, Dr. Chen, how are you doing today?
I'm good. Thank you so much for coming over.
All right, so why don't you introduce yourself to the audience in a bit more depth so that they can understand just how important today's episode is?
Well, introduce myself. I have a very long story. So, which part do you like to hear first?
It's up to you. It's your story.
Well, my story. I'm a very ordinary Singaporean, born and bred in Singapore. My family is very big, including me. My mother gave birth to 10 of us. Imagine that. Of course,
9 siblings.
my mother, my father, they were from the village in Ningpo, Zhejiang, China. My father came to Singapore at the age of 12. Just imagine, when I was 12 years old, I wouldn't know anything. I was just a baby or just a kid. But my father came over 12 years old to find a job, to earn the money, and send the money back to his family. When he reached the age of 22, he went back to Ningpo, Zhejiang and married my mother. Both of them came to Singapore to start a family. So from the day onward, 10 of us were born. I'm number 5. All my siblings are still around. So people say, Ernest, there are 10 of you, and all of you are still around. I say, yes, why not? I suppose that, we're very lucky. We have a very good parents. Fantastic. Of course, my parents were all gone. I hope that they're in heaven looking down after us. I really treasure my parents. They took care of us. Seldom, beat us or reprimand us or admonish us. But most of the time, they give words of encouragement. So words of encouragement, it is the purpose why we still continue living and how we will continue to give the words of encouragement to our children and then to our friends. Words of encouragement can change people, can inspire people, can motivate people. Never, never look down on other people. Never round down on other people. And never admonish them. So this is the principle I follow my parents. I can continue for whole day, Amir. So I don't know whether that's enough or not. You can ask me other things.
Yeah, let's move on to the first segment. I think that will be a long conversation. All right, so my first question for you is with regards to your why. Can you share your why? What made you first passionate about public speaking?
Well, when I was young, I've always wanted to be a leader. A leader is someone who can lead, someone who can speak. Well, at that time when I was young, I didn't know anything about public speaking. But I know something that I can lead. That means that I call the shot and my fellow friends will come to me. When I was in school, I'm a prefect, I'm a leader of the class. So whenever I suggest something, the rest follow me and we just go out and explore. So only later on in life, I discovered that a leader has to be a good speaker. A good speaker doesn't need to be a leader.
Mm.
So this is in life. I discovered public speaking pretty late, even though I wanted to speak well. I wanted to go on the stage to influence other people. I didn't know about public speaking until I discovered Toastmasters. Wow, that was the organization that really changed me. They really transformed me because this is the organization that groom and train public speaker. So I can tell you that I've been Toastmaster for 42 years. You won't believe that, right? 42 years. I'm
Wow.
still strong. I'm still very active.
As you can see. Okay, cool. That's really, really meaningful that you shared how you went about it. I was not a prefect back in secondary school, but then I found Toastmasters out because my mother recommended it to me.
Wow.
Yeah, I didn't even know it existed till like last year. Yeah. Okay. Why don't you invite an impactful early experience, a key moment that shaped your journey in this way? You've spoken about secondary school, so any other interesting, really impactful experiences?
Yes, something that really struck me. I went to Australia for further study. I studied at the University of Sydney. I take on economics as a main subject. In the University of Sydney, every week they have an event in the evening, maybe from 6 o'clock onward. They call it the Union Night. That was the time the student leaders
Mm,
who organize a seminar or the top or the forum,
mm.
the students at that age, what they like to do is always hammer the government. But in Australia, it's okay to hammer the government, you get notice, but not in Singapore though. I attended the Union Night and watched them in awe. I told myself, I want to go on the stage, but I haven't got a gut. Well, being Chinese, being Singaporean born, my English is not as good as the local Australians.
Mm.
So those people went out there to speak. Wow, they speak with passion. You know, they really use a lot of body language and so forth. That really wondered me. I say one day I would dare to go out. But during my undergraduate day, the one day never appear. Never appear. It's only now, after many, many years, having living in University of Sydney, I still bear the urge of going up there to speak. In fact, for the last tour, I went back to Sydney 3 times. I returned to my University of Sydney. I wanted to look for Union Night. But those period that I was in Sydney was during the holiday season. So I missed out attending the Union Night. Perhaps one day, before I really call it a day, I will appear in Union Night and deliver my speech. So that will fulfill my dream.
Cool.
But of course, during my days in University of Sydney, I also was a very active student. I was the president of Overseas Students Association. So being a president, I have to speak.
Mm. Of
I
course.
knew I didn't speak well.
Of course.
But then, of course, I still dare to speak. Now, as I reflect back, it was horrible.
It's better to
Oh.
do it and try it first and then make a mistake rather than not do it in fear of making a mistake, right?
Yes, yeah, in life, you have to try it.
Yeah.
Never mind, you fumble, you falter, you fail. You have to get out. You have to possess the resilience
The,
in
the,
you.
the moment you start trying is the moment you've already start succeed already. You
Yes.
start trying first.
Yes. In life, I always try. I know I fail many times, but that's the way. It doesn't matter. It shape a person.
Mm. Okay, cool. Um, would you like to touch on some early barriers that you faced and how you overcame your fear? That because that's what most of the youth will be wondering. How did such a
Yes.
distinguished Toastmaster overcome the fear that he would have originally had as well?
Before I joined Toastmasters, of course, I have fear, plenty of fear, but I didn't know what sort of fear. I didn't even know the term called fear, stage fright, and all those things. It's only after joining Toastmasters that I discover fear, stage fright, confidence, body language, speak with purpose, speak with conviction, and all those things. Of course, I never sit down and rest. I went around the bookshop and looking for the books.
Mm.
Then I start buying many books about public speaking, books on oral communication, books on interpersonal communication.
Being widely read does
So
help.
these are the things I read, I discover. Gosh, I say I should have it long time ago. But never too late in life. It's never too late. It's better that when you're mature, you can look for the things that you want. You can always speak up and change. I think eloquence is very important. And you must have the guts. So later on, only I discover, oh, there's a switch flag. But how to overcome that, nobody knows. I believe that if you really can overcome the teach fright or teach people how to overcome within a short time, everybody will look for you. It's never easy. I know my fellow Toastmasters who joined with me, after 30 years, they still have stage fright. After 40 years, they still have stage fright. Because these are people, they never make an effort to change, never make an effort to overcome it. But I, different. I make a lot of effort to understand what is confidence, what to say, what not to say. So ultimately, I believe that I overcome many certain degree of stage fright. But a small stage fright can make you a better speaker. Don't be overconfident.
They gotta balance it, lah.
You have to balance
need
it.
to balance it.
Important thing is the mindset. Important thing, you must have the courage. You must have the knowledge. If you have the courage to speak, you don't have the knowledge, it's also not good enough for you to appear. So when you appear in front of the audience, you must appear to them that you are knowledgeable. You talk sense. You can influence them. Different occasion warrant different topics. Who are the people looking for you? Who are the people want to listen to you? And what sort of topics you're going to speak to them? In the world, there are thousands of topics, thousands of forums, conferences, and so forth. So we have to focus and start on the specific topics. You are the master of the topics. If you are not the master of the topic, don't fool the audience. Never talk nonsense. Always talk with sense, talk with confidence, talk with knowledge.
You know who Dreamy is, right? I think I mentioned her previously. Dreamy. She's a Toastmaster, Dreamy Shah.
Who?
Dreamy.
I
believe
think Dreamy is from Money Mastery, but she also joined TMCM.
Yeah. She appeared on a previous few episodes on my podcast, and she spoke quite a bit about the same things that we are speaking lah. And one thing I'm reminded of is the fact that we mentioned that to be able to connect with the audience, when you're public speaking on stage or in front of a classroom or whatever it is, you need to do your research and you need to know your audience.
Of course, definitely. I mean, important thing is know yourself, know your audience, know the topics.
Yeah. And then combine that with a balance of courage and confidence and guts. And it should go fine with the consistency and the training. It should go fine.
Yeah. You have to. You see, public speaking is a skill. It's just like driving a car. If you don't have the skill, chances are you get accidents. Chances are when the car breaks down, you don't know what fault is that. Sometimes it can be a small things, But what people have to do is a mechanic can't just screw the driver a little bit, the car can move. So important thing, know the car, know the mechanics of the car, and know how to drive the car. Chances are you may not get into accidents.
That's a very good analogy.
The more you drive, the better you are. The more you speak, the better you are.
And that's one thing that you can get at any Toastmasters club, like the opportunity to practice consistently.
And also remember to go to different platforms to speak. If all the time you are focusing on your Toastmasters club, it's no good. It won't give you the experience. You have to go into the big occasion, go to hotels, go to other international forums, and then go on the stage to say a few words. Some people only speak in the Toastmasters Club. The moment you get on a big stage, speaking to an audience of 500 to 1,000, you got a flag. Suddenly, you tell yourself, wow, that's not for me. Suddenly, the fear comes
I
to
guess
you.
it's a matter of upgrading yourself and expanding your horizons, right? Like in that
Yeah,
sense,
yeah,
to
of
go to
course, of course. That
bigger
definitely,
stages.
definitely, yeah.
Okay, okay. Well, hopefully I get to do that at some point too. It's one of my goals. Okay, cool. So, um, yeah, the purpose of this subtopic was a warm up for some inspiration and setting the stage for deeper insights.